Okay, from the roads to the price of a new car, which is dropping and may continue to fall for the next year.
This sounds like it could be good news. CTV's Cristina Tengalia is following this story and joins us live this morning with more on this. Okay, Cristina, what is behind this drop in car prices? We haven't seen it on the home side, so I guess some relief when it comes to your vehicles is good news.
Yes, good morning, guys. Well, you know, anyone who is trying to get a new vehicle during the pandemic knows exactly the nightmare I'm about to describe. You just couldn't get one. I tried to lease a new vehicle during the pandemic. The lease on my old vehicle was up, and the salesman at the dealership I've worked with for years said, I have nothing for you, even if I was flexible with, you know, the color of the vehicle, per se, something that, you know, sometimes there's a bit of wiggle room. My sister went through the same thing, trying to get a Kia hatchback. She bought it in cash, like she paid outright, and had to wait almost a year. So that was the pandemic, but now the scenario has changed. So for the first time in years, car shoppers are having an easier time finding a deal. This is as the auto industry bounces back from the supply chain woes. So what does this mean? It means incentives. It means that you have some negotiating power. So on new cars, dealerships can offer internal financing from manufacturers. They can actually control the rates independently. The bank rates. So instead of offering, let's say, a rebate on a vehicle, a dealer can lower interest rates, which makes deals better for the consumer. And I remember, again, back during the pandemic, trying to lease a vehicle, I remember the salesman saying, look, we don't negotiate really anymore. That's not something that's really happening in the car sales industry. Well, that's back too, because of the essentially ample supply here. There's a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to negotiation. How about which vehicles there's, you know, some ample supply of, Nick and Jen? So for example, North American vehicles, Ford, GM, Stellantis, European car brands, Mercedes, BMW, Audi. But for example, if you want some of the Asian brands like Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, with those Asian brands, the supply's not as ample. So you're not going to get a big deal there. In saying that, though, I want to point out that the experts we've chatted with say, well, the situation is improving. It's not quite there yet. So if you don't need a new car right now, maybe wait 6 months to a year. But certainly, Jen, you know, as you noted, there has been a challenge with not only housing affordability, but in terms of people being able to, you know, pay their mortgages with interest rate hikes over the last, you know, few years, with the interest rate only dropping by 0.25% last month. We have another rate announcement this month, and I know people are feeling fingers crossed. We're hoping for another drop in the interest rate. In saying that, though, this is perhaps maybe a sigh of relief for consumers who've been waiting for a new vehicle and maybe now can get a deal on one.
Let's hope. Okay, Cristina Tengalia joining us live this morning. Cristina, thank you.
Thank you, Cristina.